Welcome back to another episode of the 5-Star Talk podcast with JB and Millie.
Hey.
Now we have another special guest lined up today. It's Alex from the Steelo Kri channel.
Hello everyone. Hi JB, hi Millie. Thank you so much for having me. Really excited to be here on the channel with you all today.
Thank you so much for coming on, because it's one of those ones, like, we kind of experienced this with another guest in terms of the Guru, where there was a bit of controversy, and this was another one, like, when you got married, the kind of voice of the community really spoke out loudly enough that we just couldn't ignore it, you know. We saw a lot of people congratulating you on the good news, and from there we just went on your Twitter account and then saw that you had a YouTube channel, and we watched that love story video and it was honestly amazing. So if you'd want to elaborate more on that for the people listening, because it's just such a cute story.
Oh gosh, thank you both so much. So yeah, that was one of our more recent videos. We decided to do a little bit something different. The majority of our channel is island tours and just Animal Crossing content, news, tips, tricks in general. We've been doing a little bit of some other stuff with some Mario Maker stuff, but with that video, we realized that we didn't really, I guess, do any sort of intro video about us and who we are. So we just wanted to let everybody know kind of how we met and everything, especially since we were just recently talking to some people on Twitter and realizing that they also had some, unique stories. Other couples like us were long distance for a while. For example, I was living in Virginia, and my now wife was living in Chicago, Illinois. So we ended up meeting online on Instagram and just talking every single day, doing FaceTime, voice calls, texting, messaging, using WhatsApp, just you name it. We've used pretty much every messaging app there is to keep in touch. Whenever one messaging app was buggy, we tried another one and everything. So we wanted to kind of share that story, how we met, how we got to where we are now, and how we ended up just kind of getting into Animal Crossing overall and starting our channel together, our Twitter page, and everything together. So if anybody wants to, hear a little more in depth on that story, feel free to, check out that video. But yeah, that was, again, an introduction kind of to who we are and to our relationship primarily.
No, it's so good, like, I mean, that is absolutely amazing, especially with the long distance thing. I know that from the video it was quite New York based, like you say, and it was all about just things lining up at the right time, at the right moment, and those stories are just so, they're just amazing. The fact that it's almost set up to seem like destiny, and I don't know, that's something that spoke to us especially, because I think that was very much our story as well. And so it's just great to find, other YouTubers, other people that play Animal Crossing that are just in it as a couple, and I just think that's so cool.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, no, we get pretty excited when we see other I guess Animal Crossing couples, whether it be on Twitter or YouTube or any social media. Really, we get pretty excited to kind of see that there are other couples that are into playing the game together. I'm not sure about you all, but when the game came out, Prisha and I, we would literally stay up all night playing the game. It was pretty crazy. It was beginning of quarantine, so we would be up until we personally don't time travel, but we have no vendetta or anything against anyone who does time travel. We kind of feel that if you play the game a certain way, you can play it that way. It's not really affecting us or impacting us in any way. So we don't time travel. So we would actually stay up until the next day and see, the morning announcements at 5 a.m. and everything, and visit each other's islands. As soon as we finished hearing the morning announcements, we'd travel to each other's islands, water each other's plants, to make sure that we can, try to do the breeding and everything, so we can get the rare flowers, eventually get like the rare like gold and blue roses and all that. So yeah, we were really into it. We definitely have toned it down a bit and play a little more sparsely nowadays, but we still do love to play and get really excited with the new announcements that come out for the updates, such as the fall update, of course.
Yeah, so you've mentioned the update there, and also that there's the fall update coming. So what did you think when you saw the trailer that was released? I think it was today or yesterday, JB?
I think yesterday, as of recording.
Yeah, as of recording, I think it would have been yesterday. But yeah, we were pretty excited. We had no idea when it was going to come out. We were definitely growing a little bit impatient ourselves, we'll admit. And we know that a lot of people in the community were also impatient because, of course, they mentioned the fall update. They had, like a jack-o'-lantern or pumpkin image, and there were, again, some theories about exactly what was going to come out, but no one really knew until the trailer came out. But finally seeing the ability to, have some new, to grow pumpkins and to have, pumpkin DIYs. We love Halloween a lot. We every year we dress up. We try to do a couple's costume. We've done random things from Disney, Jasmine and Aladdin. We've also done anime stuff Vegeta and Bulma from Dragon Ball Z. So we like to do couple costumes and stuff. So we're pretty big Halloween fans. So we were really excited to see all the things that they were bringing with the decorations, fences, and just we can't wait to finally actually get these new items. I guess from recording it would be about a week, maybe actually no, about 4 days from recording.
I know, it's really exciting. We're literally counting down the days. And the video did show that there's going to be a return of Jack, and it also showed a few other updates that there was going to be Franklin returning. Is this your first Animal Crossing game, or have you met them characters before?
This is definitely our first Animal Crossing game. We are definitely noobs when it comes to Animal Crossing, so we aren't super familiar with Jack and the other characters from actually playing in the previous games. What we know about them is mainly just from, watching videos about the update and also reading some articles mentioning how they've been in previous iterations of the game, and seeing that they're going to be coming. I think certain Jack's going to be. Is he going to be coming consistently, on a weekly basis, or is it just going to be on Halloween for that a certain time frame? I can't remember from the trailer.
I mean, it did say that they would be there from 5 p.m. till midnight on Halloween, but from other things that we've read and other people's speculations, they have kind of suggested that maybe it wouldn't just be that time. For all they have guaranteed they'd be there then, they may also make an appearance at the start of October to introduce the festivities, or be there on a weekly basis so you could get something new. It's very much kind of nothing confirmed other than they would definitely be there for that time slot.
Okay. So that's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
That's pretty. It would definitely be nice to see some of these new characters a little more frequently than just one time. And the additional one thing. Not sure. I think I saw you all actually one of the tweets that we tweeted about, because it's something that came to mind, and we saw other people also mentioning it. So I think you all are aware of the discussion in the community. But they did add, in addition to all the additional characters, items, and everything, new skin tones, but more kind of face paint. Things like that. And again, very, very excited for that, and we are super excited for that. We've even done a video before discussing some, quality of life updates that we'd like to see in the community, and there we specifically highlighted the fact that we are hoping that Nintendo and Animal Crossing add more skin tone colors, as well as new hairstyles, especially black hairstyles, textured hairstyles that we don't really seem to see currently as options, because there's still, for me at least, and for Kri, we like to have our characters, kind of look somewhat like we do in, IRL. But there's, millions of players that, don't have one of these skin tones and everything. We feel that they should definitely add a lot of a lot more shades, colors, specifically like black shades, darker shades, and stuff like that, for people to be able to really, I guess, make their character look like them, like kind of like a mirror image, because it's fun to we find enjoyment in doing it, and we're fortunate enough that we have it, and we just kind of want that for the entire community. Did you guys, I guess, get to see some of the discussion on that?
Yeah, like, it's been something that's been on our radar since the very start of the channel, really, because, like you say, we're in the same boat as you, where we're very, very fortunate that our skin tones are represented. Like, from the JB character, that is pretty much my skin tone in real life as well. But at the end of our island tours, we always like to give a little Q&A section with the creator. And when, one of the main questions that we always tend to ask is, if there was one thing that you could add into the next update, what would it be? And the amount of times that people have said, I want a hairstyle that represents me, or I want a darker skin tone or a lighter skin tone, to kind of be more true to who I am. Because a lot of people do like simulating what their character is in terms of them. And it's one thing where I can understand that this update, in a way, seems a bit tone deaf. Like, they can't give us a darker character, but they can give us, like a kooky or like green face paint thing. But
green or purple, yeah.
It's like, how far were these updates planned before the pandemic type thing? Like, if Nintendo are actively hearing people of color complaining about the skin tone issue and they're just ignoring it, but they're like throwing in these green skin tones, it's almost like a bit of a slap in the face. But it's like, if they just planned these updates to come out and they were going to do more if there wasn't a pandemic, then it would be a different story. But it's like, it's very difficult to decide what was planned before and what was planned after.
I believe I saw an article, and I can't remember the exact time frame, but I believe that Nintendo had planned for updates for Animal Crossing for at least 2 or 3 years after its release. Now, that being said, I don't know if they already, like as you mentioned, already planned out exactly what every update is going to be and look like. I have a feeling that they probably did. My hopes are that they did. Because if not, then again, to your point, I completely agree. It would be a bit tone deaf of them to kind of throw this change out and just have, a lot of people in the community, even that petition, is at this point, I haven't even had a chance to look at how many signatures of the petition that we shared a few times already on our Twitter page and in that YouTube video that I mentioned for a petition for more hairstyles. Tanisha Bracken was the creator of that petition. I think it had close to 50,000 signatures by the time we made that video. I think at this point a few weeks ago. So I'm pretty sure it's at over 50,000 signatures at the time of this recording. I mean, so there's definitely a lot of people who want this.
It is definitely a petition that we're definitely interested in signing and sharing. Like, from what I can tell, it has got a bit better. Like, I'm not sure how much you've played of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, but one of the things that struck me coming back to that game was, I believe it was me kind of speculating, I would love to just go back, after getting hooked on Animal Crossing, and just be a villager that looks a bit like my JB avatar. But I don't even think there's the option to change from anything but white in that game, so I don't know if this is the first Animal Crossing game that you've been able to even, change your skin tone in the slightest, but it does definitely seem as a bit of a slap in the face to give us, weird purple colours and just completely neglect other skin tones.
Agreed. And I had I can't remember if I played Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. If that's the same Mario Kart 8 that they put out, I guess the original. I think I played the one on the Wii or Wii U, which I think was the same one without the deluxe prior to the deluxe version. But yeah, I don't even remember being able to customize the character much there. I don't even know if I really played around with that much. I think I ended up just choosing the characters that they had. I guess part of that also has to do with the fact that with other games and with the customization, I don't think I've been able to ever really make a character that looks so much like a cartoon version of myself. Like I've been able to do with Animal Crossing, which again I feel like a good amount of people enjoy that about this game, but that's why it's just really kind of sad that not everyone is able to do that, and we're hoping again that we don't think it'll be it's a really big ask in our opinion to add more skin tones and hairstyles to the game, and it probably again we're not video game developers or programmers by any means, so we don't know if it's a huge effort to do so, but even if it is a big effort to make those changes, we think it's well worth it.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. It's definitely worth it. And I think even just been sat here now saying in Animal Crossing New Horizons, we can make avatars that look like us. I mean, from one of our earlier podcasts with Harley Q, they were saying how, in some early games, you couldn't even change the gender of characters. And so it has come, really far in that not only can you now choose gender, you can customize your hair, you can change the skin color, but like you say, there is certainly even eye color as well. That's really minimal. Like they could definitely take it a lot further in terms of people being able to recreate themselves quite accurately.
Yeah, those are some actual great points. I think we actually ended up watching part of that and kind of hearing Harley Q's background with video games and basically coming out the womb with a video game controller or something like that.
Yeah.
Like playing them from the very very beginning. I think Sega Genesis and all those. Me personally, I feel about the same. The first system I think I ever interacted with was the Atari, which was literally a joystick and a button. And it was, really, really back in the day. And then from there, the classic NES, and then Super Nintendo. I didn't really get into like PlayStation and Xbox until I was a little bit older. But I definitely grew up mostly on Nintendo. So yeah, we have. I guess that it's a great point that we have come such a very long way from before not even being able to select gender to at least being able to select gender to even now Animal Crossing where you don't have to necessarily select a gender, and we thought that was actually a good move by Nintendo, and we read an article that it was actually intentional from them. We only read one, but I'm not sure if there's been additional information from anyone at Nintendo to support it, but it appears that it was on purpose that they didn't make you select a gender because your character can be, male, female, or can be your character can be genderless, gender fluid. You can change your gender. It's kind of, in our opinion, was a good move from them because not everything is, as I guess in our opinion, is cookie cutter as it was back in the day, and people are have different ways to identify and everything, and we respect that, and we think everyone should respect that, and Nintendo kind of gave us a lot of flexibility there, at least when it comes to like gender and gender identity in this game.
I mean, I agree with you, and I think it's meant a lot to the Animal Crossing community that was there. Like, one of the things that we like to do before we do a video with anybody is like check the pronoun, all that sort of thing. And I honestly think I feel like I came into this really kind of unaware of people, because when JB first said, look, we need to like start adding in pronouns, I was like, well, does it really, is it an issue that, we really need to consider? And yeah, of course it was. Like, I was just so completely unaware, and the amount of people that have just said, you know, thank you for asking that, or that have chose to identify as they or them. Like, I really didn't have the understanding then, but I certainly have a better understanding now, and I do think that it's meant a lot to a lot of people to be able to kind of really make that, you know, like quite clear.
And I feel like we were kind of in the same boat as you, Millie. Even when we started, you know, I guess joining, I guess, the Animal Crossing community, especially like on Twitter, we started to see a lot more of that, and it was again, we weren't as familiar as maybe some people are with everything like that and the different identities and everything, but we definitely, you know, learned more, and we're actually very happy to be part of the community, and we think it's just great. We feel like we've been able to grow ourselves, not just, you know, with growing the page and, you know, some additional followers here and there and all that stuff, but really as people being able to like understand more, because that's something, I guess, similar to you, we weren't as knowledgeable of, and, you know, we'll admit that, but I mean, thankfully, the community's there are, of course, you know, some people in the community that are, you know, we have some people who aren't as accepting, unfortunately, and can be a bit rude, but for the most part, we've had a pretty great experience with a lot of people in the community being very open, very accepting, and open to discussion, conversation, and teaching, and it seems like that's what most people really appreciate. Like, if you don't know something, you ask and you find out, or Google find out for yourself, and then, you know, now you know, and it's like, you know, okay, but we definitely do the same thing that JB does, and we've had the same response. People will appreciate, you know, just verifying the pronouns, and, you know, just, you know, the little things like that, because it just takes 2 seconds to ask something like that, but it can make a huge difference, because that can be someone's entire identity that you're just verifying, because we don't really, you know, always know, because especially with Twitter, we're just, you know, looking at profiles of animal. Usually people have, like, you know, Animal Crossing characters, or like there's a drawing as their like PFP. So, and even that, even see, you know, someone's actual photo you might not even know the exact identity that they go by. So it's always nice to just ask, verify, and we just think it's a respectful thing to do. So that's really, we thought that was really cool, honestly, that you guys also do that.
Yeah, it is good. It's almost an essential for, I guess, what kind of we do on our own, like, collective channels, because obviously you guys do a lot of island tours. I know that one of the things that I noticed that was quite cool was that we've actually toured some of the same islands. So in terms of that kind of interacting with people in the community that you mentioned, like, what's your kind of process for that? Like, how do you go about finding islands? You know, what's your kind of whole situation with that?
So we've, I guess, initiated that process a few different ways. I remember when we initially got started, it was just trying to, like, you know, find islands on social media, and if we see an island that, you know, really stood out to us, we would try to message the person, whether it be shooting them a DM or shooting them a message on Reddit or something, and asking if they'd be interested in doing an island tour. We know we're starting up a channel, and thankfully we got, you know, usually a response, usually a positive response, they're interested in it. And from there, we just, you know, put together some, I guess, our basic list of questions that we'd like to ask for, like, some island stats. You know, how long have they worked on their island? What's their island name? And what's the theme of their island? And is there, like, anything that they like us to mention about their island specifically? Are there any maps that they have created that, you know, have, like, they're like titled, or and have, like, the different areas, title of the different areas of the island, things like that. And from there, we just go to make the videos. Now we kind of follow a similar process from time to time, but we have had some people reach out to us, whether it be on Twitter. We do have a Google Doc form that we put in the description of our videos. We've only had a few people reach out to us there, and then we had, and we're still a little backlogged, but are you all familiar with the ACNHtour.com website?
No, that's not something that we've really heard of until now.
I think it's called ACNH Tour, if I remember correctly. But if it's it's a website where you can essentially create a profile for your island, put up some pictures of your island, and now with the new Dream address feature, or new-ish Dream address feature at this point, you can put your Dream address and just have people come visit your island. Take pictures, look around, leave a review for your island. It's really interesting. So what we wanted to do was, we know that although pictures of course are a great way to showcase your island, we know that a lot of people do also love to show their island with island tours, and not everyone has a game capture card or the means to make an island tour to share on YouTube or whatever. So we ended up messaging a few people on there and then creating an event on their website after talking to the creator of the website, who we randomly came into contact with on Reddit, which is super crazy and awesome at the same time. And from there, we've had a few people also reach out to us, interested in us doing an island tour for them. Sometimes with them being a tour guide, and some people requesting that we just, check out their island using the Dream address. And we've done a handful of tours that way as well. So there's I guess at this point, a lot of different ways how we've come into doing island tours. We're definitely, again, a little backlogged on a few, I guess, avenues, just especially because we kind of just drove back to Virginia this week from Chicago, and we're really, really busy with wedding planning the past couple of weeks. But we're definitely gonna get back to it and everything, and try to catch up and follow up with everyone who's contacted us about doing some island tours.
Yeah, see, a lot of people don't kind of consider the time that everything takes. Even just like you said, catching up with everybody that's got in touch with you all kind of contributes to the process.
It does, and even just from there, we've had it happen where we've recorded 2 island tours in a day, and then another island tour the next day. And we work with an editor, so we'll send him all the content, and he just backed up with our work plus other work, and we might not, it might take him maybe a week or so to get us those island tour videos. So we like to try to also let people know that we'll let them know, of course, once their video is posted of their island tour, and try to give them a heads up that, might be, a week, might even be 2 weeks sometimes. It really just depends on how backed up we are, how backed up our editor is. So there's, multiple people working on this.
We were talking about how you're saying about the format that all the tours have taken and how you've made that contact. One thing that we found was that the Dream address did really alter the way that we did tours, in that a lot of people were just like, oh, here's our Dream address, just check it out that way. And we found that a lot more complicated, just because, we don't know the way around the island, we feel like we're missing parts out. Do you feel that there was some kind of detriment to the tours there, or have you found that it's something you can utilize quite well?
So we've had the exact same experience that you all have had. If at all possible, we personally prefer to do an in-person guided tour for the island tours, just because, like you said, we don't want to miss anything on the island, And when there's a guided tour, you know, if there's a particular path that they like to take on the island, we wouldn't know that just by going via dream address. And typically when we'll do guided tours, the creator will also have some communication with us, you know, via the chat feature, and let us know like the name of the room that we're entering, the name of the section, or if there's like a specific design there, they'll like say what the design is or something like that, or you know, there's a little bit more feedback there, and we do like that and feel like we lose out a bit with the Dream Island tours. Not to say that we don't also enjoy the Dream Island tours, because we do, because there are some amazing islands out there, very unique, that we've been able to visit via the dream address. But if we're communicating with somebody to try to schedule some sort of island tour, we always try, our first option or our preferred option is always the in-person guided tour. But if for whatever reason it can't happen because scheduling or whatever have you, and we ended up going with the dream address, we will, of course, be happy to do that.
No, I completely agree, and I even made a video, like, I was concerned at the start that it was kind of like, it would spell the end of personalized tours, you know, that kind of, not face-to-face, but a more interactive look on things, and it would just, you know, bring a kind of mountain of not empty tours, but just tours that you can do. Because if you find a dream address and you've got a capture card, you can just go to an island off your own volition, and that's perfectly fine. But it's like, it takes away that Q&A section, or like you say, you know, the creators explaining things. And I don't know, I feel that because on our channel right now we've got about 60 island tours up right now, and I wouldn't know, there's no way that I could pick any favourites or anything. But in terms of you, are there any island tours or people that you've met through island tours that particularly, you know, that just come to your mind when you think about your channel?
I don't know if I can pick a favorite necessarily, but yeah, I don't know if I can really pick a favorite, but just a couple that come to mind are the ones that I believe that you all mentioned, that you all have also toured Cooperside and Newport, because those are also fairly recent islands that we visited and did tours of, and they were a bit different. Like, for example, I believe Eddie Sean was Cooperside and did an amazing job. We ended up doing a dream tour there, and it was awesome. We loved the island. Awesome, amazing designs. It was very, very creative and well done. And then for the New York Island, Brenda, we had a guided tour. And for example, on that one, she was able to, you know, take us around and let us know, like, this is the rug market, this is that. And there's a little more interaction. There was a part in the recording where we both put on like King Tut masks and just ran around, just like tripping and falling, and it was hilarious and amazing. And we had like a little mini compilation of that in the beginning. So like stuff like that, I feel like you have the ability to do more things like that in the actual like guided tours. Definitely, in my opinion. But yeah, we've done at this point, I think we've done somewhere around 30. I think we're between 20 and 30 island tours now. But we've had a great, honestly, great communication with everyone that we've done an island tour with. We haven't had anyone really be, you know, mean or nasty or anything. Everyone's been very, very nice about us coming to the island, visiting. A good amount of people even have like gifts for us and everything, and we're just like, oh my gosh, this is, you know, it's like we just can't do that. So for you guys, we appreciate all the gifts. It's super nice, and we even had we made mentions a few times. We made a few mentions to what item is it? The saying how we really wanted to eventually get a chessboard because we thought it looked so nice, it's super elegant and everything. And Sid, we checked out in Ireland that they were able to create it. It was an awesome cottage core island, and she ended up giving us 2 chessboards as a gift in addition to many other things. But we were like honored because we're like, oh my gosh, she actually watched our videos, that's so cool. And then she's like, oh, it's for you and Kri, and we're just like, oh my god, that's so sweet, because there's 2 of us, and she gave gifts for both of us, and we're just like, oh my gosh. So yeah, people are just so nice and giving in the community, and we were just again happy to be a part of it, and hope to help contribute to that. And we try to also we don't showcase it or anything in our videos, but we usually try to bring gifts for everyone when we do their island tours. Once in a while we do forget, so if there's anyone watching this video that we toured and you didn't get a gift from us, so sorry. Reach out to us, totally happy to go back to visit and give you a gift. We started kind of doing that, I guess, maybe 10 or a few island tours in. We decided we want to also give gifts too. We have seen a lot of island tour videos from bigger channels. Well, they'll get gifts. We didn't expect it because we were a small channel, but we actually also get gifts. But we also wanted to give gifts too, and we're fortunate to be in communications and partnered with one of those one of the stores, Animal Crossing stores and everything like that has access to a hack switch, so they can get pretty much any items in the game and everything. We don't personally have a hack switch or anything like that, but again, knowing someone that does, we can pretty much have access to a lot of items, and we know not everyone has that access, so we like to do giveaways on our channel whenever we can, since we have the ability to do that, and just give away free items to people when we can, just so that hopefully they can get a kick out of it, whether it be a rare item or some rare materials or something.
See, everything you've been saying there's really nice, about how the relationships that you have gained through doing the island tours and things, and it sounds like there's some really kind of positive vibes with the audience on the channel too. What advice would you give to somebody that was just setting up with YouTube and just starting to do Animal Crossing content?
Advice? I feel like we're still super new ourselves. We just got started a few months ago, so I still feel very, very new. But I mean, any advice I'd give, I guess, anyone starting up, if YouTube, Animal Crossing specifically, one, when it comes to any content creation, I think one of the best pieces of advice is you really need to love what you do, and it just really won't feel like work, because we spend a good amount, we definitely spend a good amount of time setting things up, communicating, editing, and going back and forth on the content that we put together. So, but the fact that it's something that we enjoy, it, doesn't feel like it's another job. It's just fun. But when it comes to Animal Crossing content specifically, I think some advice would definitely be put yourself out there. Definitely, it's easier said than done for some people for many reasons, but definitely try to put yourself out there. Make sure you have yourself on all the different social media platforms and everything. Don't be afraid to message anybody. Again, we are crossing our fingers that we'll be able to still do this video at some point, but we had a communication with a big what we consider a big YouTuber with over 100,000 subscribers and in the Animal Crossing community, and we're hoping to do a collab video with them. And we just messaged him one time off a whim and everything, and he was like, oh yeah, of course, yeah, I'd love to do video with you all. So just again, easier than done. Try not to be shy and put yourself out there. If you're into doing touring someone's island that you see, just go for it. Just ask them if they'd be interested in doing an island tour. We really haven't had anyone tell us no. We've had a few people that that we've messaged before, that didn't reply. We're not sure if they ever got our message or what happened there, but it's a hit or miss. But definitely putting yourself out there and as much as you can in the community.
Yeah, I completely understand that, and literally, it's kind of weird because so many of the things that you've been saying, we can relate so much, everything from reaching out to people and just people interacting with them after the tours. After all of our tours, we try and give them our friend code and send them out posters. One of the main things when we saw that fall update trailer, I was like, oh my gosh, yes, now I can send everyone Jack posters, and it was just such an exciting time. I was like, yes, I can finally do it. But kind of going back to of course the fact that you're part of a couple that plays Animal Crossing now. I believe we've been in touch behind the scenes, and you mentioned previously in the podcast that you visited each other's own islands. Now, at any point were you tempted to share an island or anything like that? How did that decision-making process come about?
So the way that this came about is that when Animal Crossing came out, I went to the store. I went to GameStop to get. At the time, we were engaged. So my fiance, so Kri, didn't have a Switch of her own. I had my own Nintendo Switch, and she had seen the trailers for Animal Crossing New Horizons, and I mentioned to her too that it was coming out, and I'm like, I think this is one of those games that you're really gonna like, because she isn't too big on, fighting games or games where you have to hurt people, gain experience, or things like that as much. But she was really into Sims and stuff like that, simulator sim games, stuff where you can create stuff, build things, and I was like, this is the cutest freaking creating kind of game and simulator type thing that I've ever freaking seen. Baby, you gotta get this. And she's like, okay, I'm obsessed. This looks so cute. Oh my gosh, you can do this to your house. Oh my gosh, you can decorate your living room. Oh my gosh, you can make a kitchen. Oh, so I went to GameStop. I got her a Switch Lite and Animal Crossing New Horizons. And in my head, I'm like, all right, I'm probably gonna, play it on her Switch, every now and then. But I ended up getting Mario Maker 2 for myself. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna get Mario. I'm just gonna play some Mario, and Kri's gonna play some Animal Crossing New Horizons, and from time to time I'll play it. But what ended up happening was I ended up wanting to keep playing her game, and whenever I was using her cartridge, she couldn't play it. So she's like, can I play my Animal Crossing game now? And I was like, yeah, okay, sorry, I'll just save. She's like, yeah, wait, why didn't you end up just getting it for yourself? And I'm like, I don't know. So I got a second copy of Animal Crossing New Horizons for myself, and that's how we ended up just each having our own island and our own game files, and we would just play on our own islands at the same time, sitting next to each other, laying down next to each other, and everything like that. Just building up our own islands, getting different villagers and all that, telling each other what villagers we saw and all that, getting super excited whenever we were able to get a new item, and that and letting each other know what we had in stores and all that. So that's kind of how all that started off. But yeah, bottom line, Kri had it first, and I kept wanting to play her game, so I had to buy myself my own copy.
So you mentioned there how you're letting each other know what villagers you found and stuff. Which villager are you kind of most proud of finding? Which one's your favorite?
So I got Marshall from an Amiibo card, I believe. Did I get him from an Amiibo card? No, I did the Amiibo card trick for Marshall, and that's the one that I've been obsessed with Marshall ever since I laid eyes on him. So he's definitely my favorite favorite villager of all time thus far, and I know he's kind of like one of the most popular ones too. And I mean, I guess I don't let that deter me from also calling him my favorite, but he's definitely my favorite villager that I've had. I know Kri's favorite. She has a few favorites, but I think her number one is Coco. And she didn't even know how popular Coco was when she got Coco. I think that was one of the random villagers that she met when she was just island hopping. And she was like, "Oh, she looks cute. Is she a bunny? Oh, I love bunnies." And then she just like invited her to her island. But yeah, Marshall, I did the. Are you guys familiar with the Amiibo card trick that you can do? I think with Android / Samsung phones.
No, we're kind of quite lucky in the UK in that we've only just had an Amiibo card shortage quite recently, whereas we know that in the States and other places, it's quite a big problem. So we've kind of just been able to find most of the Amiibo cards that we needed through either trading or Nintendo UK store.
That is awesome. Yeah, no, it was super hard to get the Amiibo card too. For a while, we haven't looked at them recently to see how available they are now. But yeah, I remember we were looking online, and they were either, if you wanted to buy a specific Amiibo card, it was like, I think certain cards were selling for like one Amiibo card for like $30 or $80 or something, depending on how popular the villager was. So we bought a few of the card packs, and we did an unboxing. I think that was the first video we did, just an Amiibo card unboxing, and I just thought that was like a kind of a cool concept, cool idea. And that was before we ever had like a game capture card or anything. And then I think our second video was about there's a trick that you can do with Amiibo cards or with just Amiibos in general. I don't remember now because I haven't done it in a while. But essentially, if you have a Samsung phone that has NPC feature, you can essentially download a bin file, which is I guess the file for the Amiibo for the villager or any villager from a certain website or something like that, and you can run it with a program where you use your phone as a Nintendo Switch Pro controller or Joy-Con or something, and from there, I think you can just literally use go to the resident services, select that you want to use an Amiibo, and then you just pull up the file, and it automatically like scans it for you, and then it just makes villager appear. But it only works with villagers that have Amiibo cards, so it doesn't work with I think the 8 new characters that they added New Horizons.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I'm also really envious because it's just been announced that in the US they are going to reprint all the Amiibo card series, whereas there's not been any announcements like that for the UK.
Ooh, that's exciting. Yeah, it was just, I remember being super, super tough getting any sort of Amiibo card. Even just getting the card packs, like the booster packs or whatever, was just super like tough to find online, the different series.
Oh, and it's better for you guys over there, because I think I read somewhere that your packs have 5 cards in, whereas ours, or even 6, but ours have 3.
Oh, yeah, I think that they have at least 5 or 6. It was definitely more. It was definitely more than 3 cards. I definitely remember that.
Wow, that's awesome, because we get 2 villager cards, so ones that you can invite to the island and have move in, and 1 special card. So for series 2, which was the most common in the UK, it was very easy to get repeats, but also like after 5-6 packs you pretty much had all the special cards. But I don't know, it is odd. I don't know why they'd limit it, not limit it necessarily, but have different quantities. But no, I'm super jealous about how many Amiibo cards that you guys can get.
Or that they're reprinting them in the US and not the UK.
Yeah. And I've read that it's series 1 to 4 that they're reprinting.
Yeah, that's all of them. that's definitely all the Amiibo series that they have currently.
That's
Wow.
incredible.
Oh, I hope they should do that in the UK, you know, or pretty much anywhere, because I remember a lot of people in the community were saying that this dramatically changed the game, you know, because a lot of people, I don't know if you're into like Nookazon or something, it's not something that we've personally like dealt with, just because I think it would confuse me, but the people, you know, selling say popular islanders like Stitches or Onka for like 50 Nook Mile tickets. Whereas with the resurgence of Amiibo cards, like that market's gonna go right down, which is a kind of a negative for people that were doing that, but also a positive for everyday players.
That's true. That is true, and we have seen stuff like that. We ended up literally finding someone on eBay like months ago and paying like actual US dollars for to invite Raymond to our island, because we were looking for him and we could not find him. And of course, since he's one of the new villagers, there's no Amiibo card for him. The Amiibo trick doesn't work for him, so we ended up just actually paying to like visit someone's island that I guess they had a hack switch and they just had him in boxes. Had to click up a button or something like that, and we were able to just talk to him, invite him to the island. But yeah, that's we've also seen people selling villagers, asking for Nook Mall tickets or whatever, saying I'll sell you Marshall for 100, 200 Nook Mall tickets, etc. So we are definitely familiar with that too.
Like, it's just, I don't know how I'd feel about doing that personally, because I think it's a bit different, because we've not really read anything about who's considered popular or not. Like, we kind of know about that within the community depending on who we ask, you know, what's your favourite islander, and they respond quite often with the same type of things. But it's like, I don't know, like, have you ever done an islander, what's the word, like a hunt, you know, hunting for like dream islanders?
We haven't done one of those personally. We haven't done like a video like that, and we've had a couple times where we've just like hunted on our own, but no more than usually like maybe like 50, maybe between like 10 and 20 Nook Mall tickets, 10 and 20 different islands looking for different villagers. And I say only because I've seen people like spend like 100 Nook Mall tickets in like one sitting, and we haven't done that before, or again record anything like that. But we definitely both have done that a while ago, and we were still looking for some of our dreamies and people that we really wanted, and just trying to, you know, get to see who some of the other villagers or villager characters were out there.
Yeah. I mean, there's quite a few, like, I think there's Judy, you've got, of course, Raymond, who you mentioned before. So there's quite a few popular ones that they don't even have Amiibo cards of. I think I read somewhere that they were gonna do, you know, like physical Amiibos like of Raymond and Judy, but they were gonna make people go into the shop and then you can pay like what, $20 to scan them into your Switch. It all sounds a bit weird. I'm not sure what they're gonna do. I mean, I suspect if they're gonna reprint series 1 to 4, it could mean possibly that there's gonna be either a series 5 or maybe a special series afterwards. Maybe it's gearing up for that.
I was just thinking that. I'm wondering if they are going to have that as potentially one of the later updates in the game, maybe for like the 1 year anniversary or something. Trying to use my psychic abilities here, but it would be awesome if they created a Series 5 and added, instead of those 8 new villagers, they normally add what, like 99 or 100 or so. If they added a bunch of new villager characters, that would be incredible, and new Amiibo cards, and I think it would just also be pretty refreshing for the game to just have additional characters added and all that, because and now within the past couple of days, you know, everyone's pretty excited for the new fall update, but prior to that, a lot of people had, I guess, what they call AC burnout, and just, you know, hadn't really been playing much at all lately.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. Like, I kind of had burnout for a couple of weeks, but got back into the game. So there as well, you mentioned like a 1-year anniversary and what they could do for that. And we've had lots of speculation from different people on like, you know, when it's been out for a year, they'll do a big update and it could be game changing. They could introduce like new levels of harvesting. They could introduce like an entire food market, a new character, new building on the island. What would you like to see as like a big update for the first anniversary of the game?
Ooh, for the first anniversary, well, in addition to the obvious that I mentioned earlier, the addition of some like skin tones and new hairstyles, other things for the game, probably some new buildings. I would love to see, was it Brewster's coffee shop?
Yeah.
The older games, bringing back some older characters. Again, we haven't played the older games, but we've seen stuff from the games, and you know, there are a lot of mentions to the old games in all the newer articles. So seeing some additional buildings would be pretty awesome, and the addition of if they were able to, there was another. I don't know that there was another shop. Didn't Leaf have his own shop, or wasn't he like also in the Nook's Cranny or something in one of the older games?
Yeah, I think Leaf in what was it called? New Leaf. Leaf was part of the.
I think there was like a TNT's Emporium. There was like a bit of a shopping mall type of thing.
Yeah, but Leaf was definitely part of Nook's Cranny.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if they added like a new building for Brewster's Coffee Shop, and they added like a shop for Leaf, maybe on like the second floor of Nook's Cranny or something for like an update for that, where you know you have to like wait a day or two or something for the construction, would be awesome, because it's not something that I know is, well, no quotation marks, but should be coming based on data mining, is now that they're adding at least pumpkins to the game, other vegetables, and the ability to like, you know, cook and make meals or something. I believe was found in the data mining by Ninja at this a while ago. So seeing those in a huge, all those things in a huge update, I think would be pretty cool to see, and pretty well received by the community, in my opinion. Was there anything that you all were really hoping to see, I guess, in a 1-year spectacular game update?
I mean, I think mainly just picking up on what you said there about the kind of cooking element. Something that we'd kind of talked about was JB's a big fan of Pokemon Sword, and there they had like a curry dex where you have to collect certain ingredients, and then you just have to kind of work your way through cooking each variant by making each ingredient or finding each ingredient. And as well, just watching that update video again, to bring it back to that, we saw the return of Franklin, and they initially were part of like a harvest thing, and they aren't in the game till November, which is after the pumpkins have been growing. So it's kind of like they're going to arrive to like further on from what the pumpkins were doing, in saying, okay, well, now you've done this, here's some more variants.
Oh yeah, Franklin. I read about Franklin as well and saw some images. So pretty excited to see these older characters brought back that we haven't personally had a chance to interact with or anything. So we're definitely excited for that.
And I mean, again, like just talking about the video. So one thing that you'd mentioned earlier on in this podcast was that for Halloween, you and your wife like to do kind of like couples kind of costumes. Have you seen any inspiration in the game for the costumes for celebrating Halloween on Animal Crossing?
Dress up for something, inspo for us to dress up in real life, or inspo for like in-game costumes more so?
Like more like in-game for like playing the game on Halloween?
I'm not 100% sure, but I think something that we might try to do is recreate one of our costumes in the game, because we have been able to do that in the past, even like, you know, pre-fall update and all news and all that stuff. Like, for example, as I mentioned, one of the costumes that we did was Bulma and Vegeta from Dragon Ball Z, and we did a costume where it's Bulma's wearing like a pink dress, and it literally says Bulma in letters on the fronts. Krisha was able to find someone created that design in the game and uploaded it, so she was able to download it and use that, and get like blue hair to match the Bulma hair and everything. And I was able to get like spiky hair for Vegeta, and also get like an outfit that he had in one episode where he wears this like pink button-up short sleeve that says Badman on the back and has these bright yellow pants and everything. So I'm thinking, as far as like playing the game on Halloween, we're probably either, if not recreate one of our old costumes, possibly think of something that we want to dress up as this year, or something that we've been wanting to dress up as, and probably find it, either see if someone's created, or we can maybe try to make it ourselves. We've made a few things ourselves, but we usually prefer when we find people that might be a little more talented in that department to like kind of just download their designs.
I mean, we do admire how like coordinated a couple that you both seem. Like Jasmine and Aladdin is amazing. I mean, you can almost do that in Animal Crossing. There is like a Jasmine and Aladdin type of outfit, but I don't know, it's just really great to hear, because I know that last Halloween I was a hot dog or a taco, and Millie was like a kind of wicked witch, so you definitely seem a lot more coordinated than us two in that department. But
I mean, you know, witches love tacos. It's you know, it's there. You just gotta, you know, look deeper, and it's there.
Yeah, every witch needs a taco.
Yeah. that should be that has to be a, you know, a saying or slogan somewhere.
I mean, in terms of Halloween, I've almost wanted to reverse engineer the process, meaning that it's kind of become iconic for me on the channel to wear the orange comedian's outfit, and I've been trying to find a real life equivalent of that to wear for Halloween, so it's almost like I'm dressing up as them, but I can't find one anywhere. I'm so upset.
Oh my gosh, that would be incredible. Oh my gosh. We're definitely going to keep an eye out on the Twitter, or on your Twitter page, because that would be incredible if y'all can find like matching outfits with your characters. That would be perfect. I'm trying to think, like, here, I don't know how big it is internationally, but do you all have a Spirit of Halloween over there?
Oh, it's not something that we've heard of. Is it like a shop or something? I'm not sure if we've got anything like that.
It's literally just a seasonal shop that we have here in the U.S. I don't even know if it's throughout the entire U.S., but I feel like I've seen it not just in Virginia. I think I've also seen it in Chicago and some other states. But Spirit of Halloween is like a seasonal shop that I only see them in brick and mortar stores around, you know, fall, winter, and they just sell all Halloween stuff, costumes, decorations, and all that. It's an awesome store. They do have kind of like different like very like colorful suits that you can purchase from there. But again, I don't know if they would have that exact. I've never seen that color in the store that I remember, so I don't even know if they'd be able to, if you'd be able to find one online. But I'm sure you'd be able to. You still have little bit of time. So I'm hoping you can find something because that'll be a really awesome costume.
Yeah, like the closest we've got to is a friend of ours, Annalise, who kind of gave us our first island tour on the channel. We've kind of been in contact with them. The closest they've been able to get is, I think it's the orange suit from Dumb and Dumber. That's about it, though.
That would be, yeah. It doesn't have like the kind of like sequence look, yeah, that yours does. But that's a very dapper suit. Very dapper suit.
Indeed. I mean, if I need to get that one, I'll definitely look into that. But obviously, the sequin kind of makes it a bit more disco vibe as opposed to just, you know, formal wear. That's a bit of a kooky color.
Yeah, it's the comedian jacket, right? The comedian's coat jacket or something.
Yeah.
If I remember the name correctly, yeah.
But no, thank you. That'll be amazing. I guess another question that I'd like to ask you personally is just in terms of starting YouTube. We've discussed, you know, your processes throughout making videos, but were there any like YouTube channels that inspired you to make Animal Crossing content or anything like that? Like, what kind of inspired you to both start YouTubing?
Well, we both wanted to, I guess, try out starting a YouTube channel for a while now. I guess we just weren't sure exactly what, I guess, our branding would be, and we both knew we wanted it to be something that we would do together. Because we're I guess one of those couples that really like to do kind of everything together. We're literally could be together 24/7 and never get bored of each other. So we definitely wanted something that we both like and are into and everything like that. So once we started like playing Animal Crossing together, we also would watch some Animal Crossing channels. Chase, I think, was a pretty big inspiration. Chase, Mary Mori, some of those channels. Austin John Plays, who hasn't played a lot of Animal Crossing lately, but I did see recently that he just posted a video, maybe within the past 24 hours of this recording, so I definitely want to check that out. But those are some of the channels that we watch, and of course, Crossing Channel, Ben from Crossing Channel, seeing some of their videos, some island tours, you know, just getting inspiration. We just thought, wow, that's so cool, and we'd watch their videos for updates and more information on Animal Crossing, new things that we could do, things we haven't tried yet, items that we didn't know about, features that we didn't know about, and just fun ways that people were decorating their islands, people doing like hotel-style islands, different themed islands, like desert islands, pirate islands, you name it, it's like on there. Pokemon themed islands. I heard JB, you're a Pokemon fan, so it's just seeing like being able to see someone make like a Pokemon stadium in like Animal Crossing. We were just like, oh, this is so cool. Well, at least I thought it was super cool. Creature was like, oh, that's cool. But then we'll see like Sanrio themed islands and like Hello Kitty stuff, and she's like, oh my gosh, it's so cute. So we just thought, you know, it'd be super fun to just, you know, try it out for ourselves and, you know, see how it goes. And it's something we've enjoyed doing thus far, and we hope to be able to continue it for a while. Hopefully, you know, we'll see the channel grow and everything, and be able to, you know, maybe do more consistently. At some point, we've at this point, sometimes we'll upload once a week, 2-3 times a week at most. So hopefully we'll get at the point where we can do a little more consistently than that.
Yeah, like, I know you've mentioned growing the channel now. Do you have a goal, you know, like a next milestone that you'd like to reach in terms of, you know, where you're at the moment?
Well, right now we're somewhere in the low 800s. One milestone that we definitely want to reach is we want to definitely hit 1K, and we think that would just be pretty cool to finally have 1K. And then from there, I don't know, we'll probably set a new milestone for like 2K, so on and so forth. But yeah, I don't think either of us is really sure if we're gonna, you know, ever get to like the 100Ks or a million or anything like that, but just like the fact that we've gotten as many subscribers that we have thus far, and we've had as much feedback and been able to connect with the creators like yourself and everything so far, we think has been just awesome, and we've really enjoyed it.
Yeah, that's definitely, like, I think every time we sit down to talk to someone, it always comes back to how good the community is, and I think that's just a really, really powerful thing, But out of Animal Crossing, what type of, games are you playing at the moment, be it on the Switch or another system?
So right now, just aside from Animal Crossing, recently Mario Maker 2. Finally been giving that a shot and even making a couple videos for it. Because of something me personally I like to watch is also other content creators that play Mario Maker 2. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with the Mario Maker Mario community or whatever that they have, but it seems like a pretty good community themselves. But there's a lot of like good funny people in that community. I've mentioned a couple of them in some of the videos I played, like Ryukar, Grand Pooh Bear, Anga, the Beast, and there's a bunch of other people that I'll watch sometimes, and I like the content, and I think it's very nostalgic for me. I guess Mario games, and I like that in Mario Maker 2. There's a good variety of different levels created, and I guess different game themes. Like there's the kind of classic NES kind of gameplay, but there's also some of the Super Mario World from Super NES gameplay, and then there's some like the newer gameplay from like the Wii and everything on there. So it's been very, very enjoyable for me to kind of play that and try to even make a little bit of that content, because I was really excited when I heard that with the announcement of the Super Mario 35th anniversary this year, they're going to partner up with Animal Crossing New Horizons and bring some Mario furniture into the game, because we also just recently toured an island that is actually kind of based on Super Mario Sunshine. It's called Delfino Island, which is the name of the island where that game is based in. So this creator Yasmin, she kind of based her island on that, and has like in her home like a bunch of like Mario designs and stuff like that. And we just thought it was so cool. And seeing that they're going to bring Mario furniture just got me personally super excited, and maybe just want to just pop that game in and start playing it again. But aside from that, we haven't had too much time to play many other games. Other Mario, I feel like I sound like a Super Mario fan, kind of I am. But they have the new 3D All-Stars game, which brings back the Super Mario 64, Super Mario Sunshine, I think Super Mario Galaxy, that I'm hoping to play soon. But yeah, again, me personally, I guess I like a lot of retro games, like old school Nintendo, NES, and Super NES games are probably some of my favorite games to play.
Yeah, like, we've been loving Mario Maker 2. Like, now Millie doesn't really like playing the kind of platforming aspects, but she loves creating things. So what we'd do is, she'd create the courses and I'd run them, and that we got into such a good groove with that. It was really fun.
That's so cool. Yeah, it's really dope.
Now, if you could add in another mode, they've got a 3D world mode, a standard Mario mode, and, a Wii U mode, like, what other game would you use as a mode in Mario Maker 2, if you could add one in?
The Super Mario 64, it would be way too complex in my mind to be able to, like, I wouldn't be able to create a level if they had added that playstyle. But I think it would be super cool if they were able to kind of give people who can that ability to create like an entire 3D world, like the worlds in Super Mario 64.
Yeah, like, that would be crazy. Like,
I don't think they can. No, I don't ever see that.
I mean,
it would be crazy, but it could be really awesome. But also really, really great.
I guess they could do what they did with 3D World and almost make it 2D, but I don't think that's the type of game that it would lend itself to, unless they completely, kind of threw out the whole, it must be 2D based. Maybe if there was a Mario Maker 3, like, it could even be called Mario Maker 3D, like we've got 3D All-Stars. It'd be cool to make, 3D World courses, Galaxy courses, like, as impossible as that sounds like, I mean, I wouldn't rule it out at this point, because that'd just be awesome.
Yeah, I'm very curious what they're going to do for Super Mario Maker 3 at this point, because it's Super Mario Maker 2, I feel like they've, with the updates that they've done thus far, for like the Super Mario, for the Super Mario 2, like, update for Super Mario 2 Mushroom, SMB2 Mushroom, so you can like pick up items and things like that. The fact that they added like the Link Zelda mode where you can play as Link and use sword, bombs, and all those items. It's like I don't know what else they could really do with Super Mario Maker 3, because I'm trying to think what other games there have been in, I guess, the world of Mario that are also just kind of, like you mentioned, 2D, more 2D based, focused platforming, that they haven't already included. And I'm having kind of a tough time because they have, again, Mario, SMB2, SMB1, SMB3, Super Mario World, the 3D world in there already, and I'm just again curious what they're gonna kind of try to bring for the next iteration, if they do, which I'm pretty sure they're gonna want to do something, because I feel like it's a pretty successful game thus far, so I think Nintendo's gonna want to keep at it.
Yeah. Did you check out the Paper Mario Origami King at all?
I did not, and not because not for a lack of wanting to. It's just more of a didn't really have time yet. I definitely will want to at some point. I haven't played any of the Paper Mario games before, but I've heard good things about them. And have either of you ever heard of or played Super Mario RPG for the Super Nintendo?
Ooh, I think I've heard of it. There was gonna be, is it kind of like that, the Mario and Luigi series? I think it might have been inspired by that or linked to that generally, but I'm not too sure.
That might be something else. But on the Super Nintendo, it was. I don't think there's ever going to be another, version of it, because I think Nintendo and Square Enix or someone partnered up for this game, like as a collab. So it has some like Mario / kind of maybe fantasy-esque type feel to it, and it's just, and some of the characters in there, they have like your Mario, Toad, Princess Peach, and everything in there, but then they have and Bowser and his people and everything, but Bowser isn't actually the villain. There's this like completely new villain that they introduced, and so many additional unique characters against RPG. So there's experience points, there's different like magic and different moves that you can utilize. And it wasn't, I think, continues to be like one of my top favorite games of all time. So I never heard too much. I didn't hear much about the Paper Mario game when it initially came out, but I remember a few years ago, like my old college roommate told me that he randomly played it and he was obsessed, and he said it's like a Mario RPG game, and he thought it was like one of the best games he'd ever played. And I'm like, a Mario RPG game? I'm like, I should definitely play that, and I never actually made time to play it. So at one point, I definitely want to play the original, Paper Mario games and the Origami King ones. Cause I saw the trailers and I saw some gameplay of it. It looked pretty fun. Did you all have a chance to pick it up and play it yourselves?
Yeah, so we've been able to play throughout the game. We kind of fell off from it a bit because, truth be told, the pre-order bonus that came with it for at least the Nintendo UK shop was origami sheets along with instructions where you could kind of fold your own Goomba, fold your own Princess Peach, and we kind of got a bit obsessed with doing them on the channel more than the game itself. Not to discredit the game, but like just learning origami for the first time was so much fun.
Oh, that's actually real. Yeah, I don't know if they had that here in the US. That's really cool that they had that there for you all. Yeah, I never heard of that. But it sounds so fun.
Yeah, because there were a lot of comments in the comment section saying, "Oh, how did you get this? Like, where are the instructions?" Because I don't think it was a US thing, but I don't know. I wouldn't imagine that they would exclude it from the US entirely. I'm sure there's probably going to be a way to get it either later or maybe on the shop as a separate purchase. But in terms of Mario RPG, the only thing that I've played even resembling that isn't Paper Mario would be Mario and Luigi Partners in Time, but I don't know if I'd call that completely story-based, and a lot of people don't like that game, but I've got quite good nostalgia with it, so I like revisiting it from time to time. No pun intended.
Nice.
But no, you mentioned the Mario 3D All-Stars, that you haven't had a chance to play it yet, but you want to. Is there a particular game in that collection that you're really looking forward to either revisiting or playing for the first time?
Super Mario Galaxy, I've never played, and it looks so fun. I've played and beaten Super Mario 64 and Super Mario Sunshine in the past, but I am still looking forward to playing them, because even though I've beaten them, I don't think that I ever, I guess, did 100% on either of them, meaning like I don't think I ever got all 120 stars in the Super Mario 64 game and beat every single level and complete every single star, and I don't think that I also got all the what are they called? Those sun medals. I'm blanking right now, but for Super Mario Sunshine,
They're called the Shine Sprites.
Shine Sprites, yes. And I literally just saw someone say it because I watched some gameplay on it literally 2 days ago and completely forgot. But yes, the Shine Sprites. I don't think that I completed getting all those in Super Mario Sunshine when I did my playthrough years and years ago. So I am looking forward to revisiting those two and I guess completing them 100%. But Super Mario Galaxy, I'm really, really excited about because again, I've never played it, and it just looks so cool and looks so fun. The mechanics that they introduce into the game and everything, the different use of gravity that they have, the enemies and everything, it just looks something that I really like that they've been able to do with the I guess the 3D Mario worlds. Is that each one of them kind of is their own thing and has its own identity. Even though I think it would have been really cool to have, I guess, a Super Mario 64 too, or whatever. It is really cool that every one of them has their own identity. Except they did make a Super Mario Galaxy 2, I believe, but I think that they did introduce a few new mechanics in that one to at least have it play a little bit differently than the first one.
Yeah, well, I personally think that you're in for a treat with Galaxy. Like, I think Galaxy is probably my favorite, mainstream, like main story Mario game of all time. Like, I know people really like Odyssey, and I actually cried when I finished it. Like, I really did enjoy it, but there's just something about Galaxy that I love.
Oh gosh, I feel like I haven't had a chance to play like a 3D Mario World since like Mario Sunshine. I haven't played Odyssey yet either, but I've seen a lot of gameplay on it, and it looks incredible. And again, it has like an identity, and the different worlds that you have in that game, and everything, the unique characters, all the things you can do with the hat. Oh my gosh, and all the different things you can become. It's so cool.
Yeah, they always find a great way to bring some more new mechanics, and just they're so innovative with these things. It is good.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess then, kind of to start to wrap things up, are there any more topics that you'd like to discuss on the show, or anything that you'd like to be, spoken about?
Let me see. Well, I can't think of anything off the top of my head. Definitely glad that we got to talk about the update and everything. And this might have actually already been discussed on one of your previous channels, so this might be actually repeating for you all, for you two. But do you mind if I ask just how the two of you met and how long y'all have been together?
Oh, well, it feels like a lot longer just because we've been through so much and we've done a lot of things, but it's about 2.5 years now, isn't it?
Oh, wow.
2.5 years.
Well, then you add the pandemic and it's an extra 5 years, so really...
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, this is actually completely new ground for us. We've never really spoken about anything about ourselves personally on the channel before.
But yeah, you're asking how we met. We were both doing the same degree at uni.
Oh.
So through mutual friends within that lecture, we got introduced at like the student bar.
Oh, that's so cute. That's so cute. We love stories and love in general. So just like hearing about like how the couples meet and everything, it's so crazy like how there's so many different ways, I guess, to meet people, but at the same time, it like we even have like a couple like some friends that although there's like so many ways to meet people, it just seems like it can be very difficult sometimes. So we also just feel very, very fortunate that we found each other, and that we're kind of definitely like hopeless romantics. That we're the believers that there's one person in the world for you. So when you like find the right one, we just think it's just like so awesome and just amazing, and like one of the best things and the best feelings and stuff. And we just kind of want and just hope for everyone to be able to have that and everything. And it's just so, again, crazy that there's so many different ways for people to meet, and everyone has their own unique story and like how they get through things. And we're even like seeing how I think that Krisha was mentioning to me something that I don't know if it was on Netflix or some article or something, that there was, I don't know if there is a show or there was going to be some new television show about dating during the pandemic or something. I don't know, but it's also, I guess, something that that is part of this new world and everything. But the fact that we have you all there in the UK, we're in the US, and we're just talking with no issues right now. So it's just great the way that how far we've come with technology and being able to communicate with each other from from abroad and everything like that. So even if you do meet someone who is somewhere far away, in another state, another country, there are still a lot of ways to like kind of still make it work at the same time.
No, yeah, I do completely agree with that. I mean, it was definitely one of those things where, like, this mutual friend of ours, like, invited us out separately and together a good 4 or 5 times before that, and either I had said no, or, you know what I mean, like, it was just so close to not happening, and I don't know what made me, like, say yes, because they said, okay, shall we meet up at this place at, 4 p.m., and I actually overslept because I got into such an unhealthy habit at that time of just day sleeping. And I woke up about 5, and I was like, "Oh, am I early?" Like, because I got the times completely wrong, so I almost didn't go. But I don't know. It's just scary to think about what would have happened if I'd never went.
And I mean, it wasn't even the first time we'd met. We'd been on a trip before that with the university, and the mutual friend had introduced us then, and she was like, "Don't you two go making me a third wheel." And I just like laughed, just like thinking he was completely out of my league. So I was like, no, don't worry about that. And he was there like, oh, what a horrible girl, laughing at me like that.
Yeah, you like rejected me.
But I thought it was because you were too good for me and I didn't want to be embarrassed.
Rejection immediately.
Yeah, like, oh look, here's JB. No.
No, it wasn't like that. It's because I thought you were too good for me, so I was just like, okay, let's not let rejection set in here. Let's just put an end to this right now.
Reject me before I reject you.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's such a thing.
Yeah, and again, we had our story where it's like we almost, we miss each other meeting more than once, and if we hadn't, I guess, been persistent or kept at it, and hadn't actually, met in person and, really continued that, I don't know. I feel like, I don't know, my life, I don't even know if I can think about what my life would be like right now, and everything. But yeah, I'm just really glad that, I met my wife and everything, that we were able to, meet in person finally, and I was able to ask her out within literally 24 hours of meeting her in person for the first time to be my girlfriend and everything. But she said yes, and we were able to, get engaged and get to where we are now.
Yeah, and your story is so cool. Like, just following on from it, it started with kind of a mutual following on Instagram, and then there was kind of like this back and forward for, it sounded like years from the video. I'm not sure if I'm getting that accurately, until finally you kind of met up. But there's just so many obstacles to kind of get through, be it schedules not lining up properly or things getting in the way. And I don't know, even with situations like that, you're almost thankful with every time it didn't work out, because if one thing wasn't right, or if one thing wasn't in place on a time before, you could, like you say, be in a completely different situation right now. And it's just difficult to think about how one little decision or one chance meeting could change everything.
Yeah, it is crazy to think about that. We always also kind of, it comes up from time to time that, we'll just kind of talk and just think and wonder, what if we had met differently? Or, what if we were in the same state? Would we be where we are right now? Would things have been different? But at the end of the day, we just also kind of land back the same thing. We think that, everything kind of happens for a reason. And there was a reason why we, had to meet, how we met, and that we were far, that we had to travel back and forth for years and years, plane rides and all that, buses. I took multiple Greyhound buses from VA to Chicago and everything, the 20-hour bus rides and everything, going through half of the U.S. to get there sometimes, and everything. So but at the end of the day, all the trips and all the money we had to spend on traveling, seeing each other and being together, it was worth it, because again, where we are now, what we feel for each other and everything, when you love someone, it's really, there's really no other feeling you could compare, in my opinion, to that.
No, I don't know, I even feel for you guys, it kind of inspiring to me personally, the fact that you even put out a video kind of explaining your love story. Now, I don't know, I guess I've considered doing that on multiple occasions, just kind of a bit of a backstory, but I don't think I've got the confidence to, in that, at the size that our channel is right now, I'm not sure how many people are really invested in the personality versus invested in what games we're playing and the content we're producing. Did you ever have those thoughts before making that video at all, or were you just kind of confident that you just wanted the story to be out there?
I had those thoughts, and those thoughts were primarily in the discussion that I had with Krisha about putting out the video. Because those everything that you just mentioned are things that she basically brought up. She's like, but wait, do you think people would actually want to know? Do you think they'll actually watch it? Wait, that's kind of that's a little bit off brand. But do you think it'll be good type thing. So because in my mind, I'm just like, oh yeah, you know, I'm gonna tell everyone about us. And then she's like, have you really, you know, actually thought this through a little bit? Like, you know, there's some questions we should probably go over and everything. But at the end of the day, what we landed on was, I guess, you know, our hope is to, yeah, we're an Animal Crossing based channel and stuff, but our hope is to, you know, also, you know, be open and, to your point, inspire, I guess, other people at the same time. Like, I mean, that's a lot of what we do with the island tours. I think that's kind of at the core of doing the island tour videos, because that's how we felt seeing island tour videos, and how we still feel seeing island tour videos from other channels. We get inspired. We're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe someone was able to think of this. This was so cool. That's amazing. When it came to the, I guess, telling our background, our love story, and how we met and everything, our hope, or I guess my thought process with that was to kind of inspire others in their relationships as well. That, you know, no matter like kind of where you are in the world, if you love someone, you can make it work. Because we have like a group chat or whatever with some people on our Twitter, and I don't know how exactly we ended up getting into the topic, but one day everyone was just talking about like relationships, and like half the people in the group we never knew also are currently in long distance relationships. Some you know, a state or two away, some a few more states away. You know, and after we, you know, mentioned how, you know, we're engaged and we're going to be getting married like within like, you know, a month or two or something like that, some of the response that we got were like, oh my gosh, that's amazing, like, oh gosh, you give us hope and everything for our relationship. So we wanted to also, I guess, share that story to hopefully let others know, whether you're just in a relationship or whether it's long distance or not, like, no matter what, like, you can make it work if the person's right for you, and, you know, if you have open communication, honesty, and everything, and that love in the relationship, it can definitely work.
That is, I mean, it is cool that almost, you know, kind of having like a role model type thing with you. Like, I don't know, I'm not really sure like how easy it'll be now, obviously, you know, with kind of, especially in the UK with local lockdowns coming into place. So we really do just need a beacon of hope like yourself, you know, with that kind of story video. I think we definitely did see it at exactly the right time, and I'm sure a lot of other people have as well, because it's like you were saying with technology, it's about utilizing what we have to communicate from people long distance in a time when we may not necessarily be able to travel long distances.
Yeah, absolutely. And now again with the ability to like just, you know, do calls like this internationally for no additional charge. Like, I remember back in the day, my family, my parents came here from Peru in South America. So whenever we had to communicate with like my family down there, my parents would always have to like get calling cards or have to pay extra for the international calls and all that. And now they can just literally message or call using like WhatsApp or one of these other things, like messaging apps, and still have the capability to do video calling or just regular calling any time of the day. Again, without having to worry about incurring any additional costs to like the internet and the cell phone services that they're already paying for.
Yeah, like it is great how things have come on, and you know, even the fact that we're in this call, like you say, it's just amazing. Like, obviously there's the time differences, but really that's no problem when you get down to it. Like, I don't know, it's just great how like connected we can all be.
Yeah, and exactly. Even with the Animal Crossing community itself, it's so diverse, and there's just, I mean, overall, it was already at this point, it was 22, 23, 24 million copies that were sold, I think, the first week of August. So at this point, I'm pretty sure that number has grown. But there's literally 20-something million people who own Animal Crossing in the world at this point. And there's, from all different backgrounds, different time zones, everything. And it's really awesome to just kind of see that in just when you get in the community, whether it be in YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Reddit, wherever, and you just like see people different time zones, and every other place, whatever. But everyone's still like communicating, sharing things. Like whenever the updates come on, everyone goes crazy and everything, and starts pointing out things and speculating here and there and all that. And it's just overall pretty awesome to see.
Yeah, like, it is awesome, and I do think this community is just brilliant. Now, in terms of people watching this right now, where can they kind of find you on the internet? I know we've spoken about your YouTube, but where else can we see your content?
So we have our YouTube channel. In addition to that, we are on Twitter, Instagram, and Reddit. Our handle is at Steelo Kri Play AC. That's SteeloKriPlayAC all together. That's for all three of those. And we are also on the ACNHtour.com website. I believe it's the same handle. We tried to have the same handle on everything. For the most part, to just kind of be consistent and to make it easy for anyone to like find us across different platforms.
Yeah, well, I'll definitely be making sure to consciously, look through all those things and then link them in the description down below. So for anyone listening to this, that's how they can find you easier. So thank you so much for being on this episode of 5-Star Talk. It's been so good to talk to you.
It has been awesome to talk to you both, JB and Melody. Thank you both for having me on. Thank you for having me, join the channel and everything, do this little podcast. It was really, really fun. Definitely want to keep in touch with you all. So I'll definitely, have you all on Discord and Twitter now. So I definitely want to keep in touch for future and stuff.
Yeah, like, absolutely. I mean, it's just so great to have another, like, connection that's almost so similar to us in so many ways, but, like, it is awesome. Like, someone that understands, like, the struggles of reaching out for island tours and stuff like that. It's just really cool. But yeah, to the people listening to this, thank you so much for watching another episode of the 5-Star Island Talk with JB and Millie, and of course, our special guest. We will see you in the next video. Please like, comment, and subscribe.